That's 20. Okay. And welcome to the Orlando Magic pregame show presented by AdventHealth. I'm Kendra Douglas, joined by Orlando Magic's Dan Savage. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today. We get some Orlando Magic basketball, quench our thirst a little bit during this summer dry spell. So it'll be nice to watch a little bit of this action today.
I'm super pumped too because we have not seen Tristan da Silva play in a Magic uniform. That's something that we're going to be able to see. So that is exciting. Of course, we get to also see Jet and AB out on the court as well. Them going into year two, which I feel like for them is kind of like this is their chance to show their leadership skills a little bit. So what are you looking forward to in today's game?
I mean, you touched on two big ones. The one thing with Tristan that's going to be really interesting is I think his game in particular really translates to the NBA level. He's a smart, cerebral player, cuts well, moves in space, can get downhill a little bit, is willing to defend. And in the summer league setting, that always doesn't translate. We saw that with Franz Wagner, where he had sensational summer league practices, but then when he was cutting open to the basket, he wasn't necessarily always being found. Summer league tends to favor volume scorers, guys who are willing to jack shots up, and that is not the way he plays his game at all. He's very unselfish. But in the summer league practice sessions, he has looked very impressive, very poised, makes the right plays, sets up his teammates, and he's got a good starting group with him. So I think he could overcome that, and I think we could see a very impressive summer league debut for Da Silva.
That's awesome. I'm excited. And I want to say thank you again to all of the Magic fans joining us today. You were watching the Summer League pregame show presented by AdventHealth. I see a couple coming in saying, "Go Magic, go Magic." Oh, Nico124 says, "I love y'all." We love you too, Nico. So thank you guys for watching us. But let's hear what Tristan has to say and how excited he is to debut with the Summer League team.
This is the first time we going out there, and to do it with a group of guys like this is very special. So I'm pumped. Just playing the right way, passing guys like Jay Huff the ball. We got a good group of guys that all know how to play, and I'm trying to fit into that, buy into this culture of the Orlando Magic, and just play my style of basketball.
Buying into the culture is something that really stood out to me. I think because, you've heard from the guys with how things happened this year. It was all about buying into the culture, all about buying into Mosley and how he plays. So for you, what is the culture and what do you think Tristan needs to do during this summer league debut?
Well, I think you touched on the key word there, which is culture, standard, whatever you want to go by. It's funny, today's 3 years ago to the day, or just about 3 years ago to the day that Jamal Mosley was hired. And one of the constants since his arrival has been the defensive standard that the Orlando Magic have set forth. If you want to earn minutes in this Orlando Magic's rotation, you have to play defense. You have to give 100% effort. If you want to make the Orlando Magic roster, you're going to have to do that. If you want to be a member of Osceola, you're going to have to do that. And if you want minutes in Summer League, you're going to have to do that. So that is something that Lionel Chalmers, who's the Magic Summer League head coach, has emphasized in those practice sessions to a man, whether it be AB, Jet, or Tristan. They've emphasized the importance of displaying that aspect of their game. I thought Jet in his media session, the first one of Summer League, where he said, look, it doesn't matter if you're with the parent club, in Osceola, Summer League, it's all the same. It comes down to defense. So I think the Orlando Magic are going to really try to set the tone on that end, just as they've done in the regular season, playoffs, etc. And I think they've got a number of guys who can really help accentuate that. Anthony Black takes tremendous pride on it. It's an aspect of his game that Jet Howard's trying to show in order to earn more time. We've looked at, a guy like Tristan da Silva. He's got the skill set to it. And one guy not to sleep on, if you're just kind of gaining access and knowledge to this Magic Summer League team, is Jay Huff. That guy was the 2022-23 G League Defensive Player of the Year. And his defense is shown in some of these Summer League practice sessions. So it'll be interesting to see if that carries over to the court as well.
And speaking of the court, as you can see, we're getting a live look at Summer League in Vegas. I hate that we're not there, but I love that we get to like show this for our fans as well. So those who are watching in, that's a live look at Vegas right now, seeing the guys getting warmed up and ready to play at 4 p.m. Let's see. We have Michael Orlando saying, excited to see what AB and Jet do. I think we both are. Edward, Magic, play the song. I think they would love to also continue to play the song even for Summer League too. So excited about that. But let's listen to Chalmers because he does talk a little bit about just Tristan's game.
He knows how to play the game. He's very smart. He knows timing. He knows spacing. And he's willing to play with other guys, which is very important. And he's even communicating a lot, which is great for a young guy. I think he's really tough. I think he's underrated tougher than people give him credit for. And he's quick. He can get down, he can stampede drive, and he's a really good passer, honestly, especially coming off the left. He makes really good decision passes. So I want him to stay aggressive and shoot the ball, but I also want him to show other parts of his game as well.
It's so good to hear from Chalmers too, talking about this team and what he's looking forward to. This is his first year coaching with the Summer League group, so I'm excited for him. But when you hear him and how he talks about Tristan, you know, we are going to talk about this rookie a lot. He's the only one we got right now. We know that AB and Jet are going into year 2. But what excites you about, you know, what you're looking forward to him and his progression?
Yeah, no, at first I thought the L Train was talking about himself with the way he used to play. People forget he was drafted by the Clippers, played a number of years overseas. Magic legend Mikel Petrus was taken in one of the Magic's Summer League sessions, and we were talking about Lionel and his playing days. So it's great to see him get the opportunity as a head coach. But, you know, back to Tristan, I think this is an opportunity for him to really work on, you know, the rotations, mentally picking up the speed, because whether it be going from the college level to Summer League practice sessions, to Summer League, to preseason, to training camp, to the regular season, there are different speeds to this. And I think this will be a good test of his progression, of how quick he could pick up the rotations, how quickly he could make decisions, and start to play off some of the teammates that he may even have in Orlando Magic preseason and regular season action. Because when you look at that second unit, guys like Anthony Black and Jet Howard could both be on it. So it's a good time to build some chemistry as well. So I think it'll be a good test for his mental progression, and I think he has the capabilities to do that coming in as an older rookie.
You know, you just mentioned AB, and actually Anthony Yu commented, Dan, what improvements have you seen in AB's game over the summer so far, if you've been able to?
Yeah, I think it's really early on. The eye test is with his aggressiveness. I think that's twofold. I think, you know, some people wanted to see the Anthony Black in college being aggressive. I think Magic coaches scaled that a little bit back early in his season, made sure he was making the right plays first. I think that as he enters year 2, training wheels start to come off a little bit, and especially in a summer league session, I think we'll see him get downhill more, be more assertive getting to the basket, and a little bit more decisive in his decision making. I think the key in summer league sessions is going to be limiting turnovers, because the game can get mucked up real quick, and we've seen in some of the, you know, summer league sessions for other teams playing in some of the other summer leagues, that turnovers can rack up real fast, fouls can, you know, rack up real fast. And it's going to be on AB as a floor general, as a guy with some experience in this setting, to set the table for his teammates and take care of the basketball. So if he could do those things, I think he's going to be set up for a successful summer league. And look, his shot steadily made progress from what he did in college to year 1, and I think he's put a lot of work into that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that translates here in summer league.
Yeah, I am too. And one guy who is on our screen right now, that was Jet Howard that just zoomed by. So actually, I do want to talk a little bit about Jet, but let's hear how he feels about going into his second season of Summer League.
For sure, I for sure have more confidence, more comfortable. A little leadership quality, just because I know everything, and Ben did it already, so just helping out if, like, you know, a guy doesn't know a defensive drill or a principle, and just helping in that aspect for sure. I feel like I'm a pretty good passer. Coming in, I felt like that, and it kind of gets overlooked a little bit. But it's a good time to showcase it, I feel like. So.
Is something you really want to highlight in your game for yourself, and coaches?
Probably the defensive side of the ball and just understanding, how to perfect my role and be good at that and not get out of that. So probably just perfecting that.
I definitely feel like this is a great opportunity for Jet to continue to grow this season. So what are you looking forward to with seeing Jet progress?
Other than his new hairstyle, which I'm not gonna lie, when they set up for, I believe it was like the final day of practice before taking off for Vegas, and they go out into their 3 different units. You have your starters, your second unit, and guys that are filtering with the third. And I was like, "Where's Jet?" And I realized, I looked down at his jersey number. I was like, "Oh wow, he switched up the hair a little bit." So I like the new style. That's a good start. For Jet, I think the number one thing he emphasized that he wants to do is have the game slow down for him. I think in his first summer league, he rushed to get shots up. I think this time you'll see him look for the right shots. One of his underrated aspects of his game is his playmaking. I think if he could showcase that alongside some other good playmakers in that Orlando Magic Summer League starting unit, he'll look really good. So I just look for the game for him to slow down, and if he could showcase his defense, that'll be big because that's what'll earn him time with the parent club.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm so happy that we got to do that live look inside Las Vegas and see the guys warming up and getting ready. Hopefully, you guys are getting excited. The team will play at 4 p.m., so just in a couple of minutes. And thank you again for tuning in to our Summer League pregame show presented by AdventHealth. Looking at some more questions, Dan, what other players stand out to you?
Well, I mentioned him. Jay Huff is going to stand out because he's going to be that center point for the Magic's defense, holding it down as the big man there. He's got, skins under his belt with, 2022-23 G League Defensive Player of the Year. Another guy, also cracking the Magic's starting rotation is Jared Culver, who was a, top 10 pick for the Phoenix Suns. He went 6 overall back in the day. And then, you got some other guys like Xavier Moon, who's a speedster. He'll come in probably with that second unit, and you'll see him fly up and down the court. You've got a few of the Magic's G League players returning, and guys like Myron Gardner, J.C. Hillsman, and Trey Scott. So those are some of the guys that I would keep an eye on in this first Summer League session. Not everybody's going to get playing time in game 1. We saw that before. Remember that last Summer League where everybody was banging the table for Kai Soto. But you have to remember the Orlando Magic look at this holistically. They're not only looking at guys for how they could translate to the Magic's parent club, but also for their G League team, prospects they want to give a shot to. So there's a bigger approach than just wins and losses. There's a lot they're looking at over the course of the Summer League sessions.
Yeah, without a doubt. Another question is, I like this one. What do you think are realistic expectations for this season?
Ooh, that's a good one. I
That's
want
a
to
good
pick
one.
up right where we left off and continue to earn more wins than we did the prior season. Now, will it be double digits again? That's hard to imagine doing 2 years in a row, but I thought adding double digits last season after the season before would be hard to do. But if you could just pick up where you left off, really hone in on making an impact on the defensive end, and at the same time improving the offensive efficiency, I'll be very happy with the way the season unfolds. I think adding KCP was huge. I think there's a reason he was a top target for Jeff Weltman and company because he slides in and fits in perfectly. Helps improve the Magic's defense, a top 5 type of defender when it comes to looking at guys who are willing to take on tough challenges, and at the same time has the capability of shooting over 40% from 3, which, as we know, was a weakness of this Orlando Magic team. So you add him into the mix, a guy perhaps like Jet Howard, who we'll see today with his 3-point shooting in the mix. Tristan da Silva has an opportunity to earn minutes. We may have more shooters at our disposal, which could be a good thing without sacrificing defense. So that's really big.
It is really big. And one guy who we've been talking about, we didn't really get to hear much about, was AB that you were kind of mentioning. So let's hear from some of the guys as they talk about AB and just seeing him in Summer League.
Doing a great job of communicating. We're having him use his voice more, and he does it. And he's starting to recognize when he's not doing it, and he's aware of it, which is growth. So I think he's doing a good job right now, and he'll continue to get better and better.
You know, he's making threes now consistently. He's grown as a leader. We're following his lead this summer league, and I think he's doing a good job so far.
Following his league and summer league, I think that both AB and Jet have that whole mentality where they are going to be leaders going into this next season, especially with these guys in summer league too. So I'm excited. We're going to wrap things up in a little bit. I want to get your final thoughts on just what to expect during the summer league. Some people have high expectations. Some people don't even know what to expect. Final thoughts before we wrap up.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's been key for summer leagues, look, I've taken them in closely for the last 20 years, and do not overreact to anything good or bad with summer league. There were people who, after Franz Wagner's, first summer league action, wanted, were like he was overdrafted, etc. And now those are the same people that are like, okay, Franz is worth a max, rookie or contract coming off his rookie season. Mm-hmm. So you can't overreact to anything. Remember, the team and staff is looking at things differently than you are. They want to make sure that players are picking up concepts and seeing the right things. So that's something I'm focused in on too. And it's just a good opportunity for growth for these guys. These are, just kind of a little more than glorified scrimmages. So you have to keep that in mind. And, when coaches decide to look at guys at the end of games and maybe your top players aren't in there, don't overreact to everything. That's my big thing. Do not overreact.
Don't overreact. That is the motto we'll be going into the summer league. I just want to say, Dan, thank you for taking the time to come and chat with us. And you, the fans, thank you so much for chatting with us and getting us ready for game one as the Magic look to take on the Cavs at 4 p.m. The summer league pregame show is a wrap, presented by AdventHealth. We will see you guys later. And hey, good luck and go Magic.
And we'll see you next time for more overreactions.
Yes.